What's up, Wealth Nation? In this video, we are going to discuss when is the right time for you to buy whole life insurance. My name is Carmen.
And I'm Darius. And before we jump into the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and always hit that notification bell to be notified when we post new videos. Now, when buying life insurance, you always want to use your free cash flow or your disposable income. You never want to use anything other than disposable income to purchase life insurance. So if you don't have any disposable income, it's probably not a good time for you to buy life insurance.
Or specifically whole life insurance, because it can be more expensive. So the idea for you, if you're watching this video right now, if you don't have a ton of wiggle room as far as disposable income is concerned, then look into your options for term insurance and convertible term insurance that we can totally help you with. If you're interested in, definitely click on the link below, because you always need some sort of life insurance and your pockets are going to really determine what product you should buy. So right now, if budget is a concern for you, then we definitely recommend convertible term insurance. And what does that mean? That just means that you're going to buy term insurance right now, which is just going to provide you a death benefit. If something were to happen to you, then your family is going to be covered. And the convertible piece means when your budget does open up a little bit, then you can convert that into a whole life insurance product, and you can have insurance that's going to sustain your entire life. And it's not just going to be for a specific period of time.
Right. Now, some of the reasons why people may not have disposable income is, first and foremost, is high interest debt. So if we can get rid of high interest debt, then maybe we'll have more income to be able to put into investments or to put into other things that we need in our life, like life insurance. I know a good example of this is Carmen and I, when we first started, we had $120,000 worth of credit card debt that was over 20% in interest per credit card. And what we did is we used the disposable income that we had to purchase a life insurance policy, but we used that income, we used the loan from that life insurance policy to buy our debt back, which allowed us to purchase more life insurance in the future because we started redirecting that high interest debt back to ourselves. So
if you want to learn more about that, click on this video.
Yes. And we go line by line exactly how we did it and showing you every single credit card that we used, and the fact that we only had $5,000 in the beginning to actually put money to borrow from our life insurance policy to put on that credit card. But in any event, I told you that story to say that there's no way around getting around high interest debt to free up your disposable income. High interest debt is one of the reasons, or the biggest reasons, why most people don't have the disposable income that they would like to have in their lives, because they're putting it all towards interest.
Now let's address the disposable income piece, because I want to make sure that we are clear. When we say disposable income, we mean that you won't need this money in a financial bind, because typically what we find that happens is when someone says, hey, Darius and Carmen, we have $300 a month that we can put towards our policy. Then the next question to me that I would ask you is, what happens if you're in a financial bind? Would you need to use this $300 to keep you out of it? And if they say yes, then I would say, let's look into a term insurance policy, for example. Or if they say no, then maybe we can continue looking into the whole life realm. And the whole reason behind this is because for us, we never want to put you into a bind. And we want to make sure, first and foremost, that if you are going to get product like whole life insurance, you want to keep it on the books for as long as possible, because you're going to need this product at some point. And so it's very important to ensure that your finances are stable enough where if a financial hardship came up, that you can still maintain your premium. Because we find more often than not, life insurance is one of the few products that go first once we get into these financial circumstances. And that's unfortunately one of the products that shouldn't go first, is because what happens when we're in a financial bind? Stress happens, accidents happen, you have no idea, then all of a sudden you need that death benefit. So for us, when we look at your financial health before we even offer you a policy, is we want to know how much debt you have, we want to know how much money you have in savings, because the biggest part for us is making sure that you can sustain your life insurance products. So long story short, we recommend that you need to have at least $800 a month of disposable income for this to really make sense for you. Everyone's circumstance is different. If you're 20 years old and we're talking about $800 a month, that's different. But if you are 40s, 50s, 60s, and you don't have this disposable income, then that's something that we need to discuss.
Right. And even to that point, let's say you have $300 of disposable income available to you every single month. for policy premium as an example. If you're 30 and younger, that would be great. But if you're 30 and above, the cost of insurance is a little more. So you have to also take this in consideration when you think about the disposable income that you do have access to.
Yeah. We say like 10 times your age is like a good basis for starting, right? So the $300 would make sense for somebody who's 30. The $400 would make sense for somebody maybe who's in their 40s. But again, we have to figure out what exactly are your goals with this thing? What are you trying to accomplish? What riders or add-ons do you want to add on to this? Because things can get more expensive once we start tricking out your policy. But it's again, just what kind of car do you want to drive down the road? And we can make it look as souped up as you want it to, and it can accomplish all of your goals. You just have to be able to make sure that you can afford it.
Right. Now, we also have to take in consideration the role that life insurance plays in our life. Life insurance or whole life insurance has other things that we can take advantage of, like the cash value that grows inside of a life insurance policy. So with that, we have to understand that life insurance plays a role under our estate planning. But because it plays a role under our estate planning, we also have to think about how we want to manage our funds. We have to talk about how we plan on using these funds so that we can make sure that we have a holistic approach to our financial future and the role that it'll play in our lives as we have access to an alternative source of financing, as we still have our monthly bills that we have to maintain on a monthly basis, as we have our necessities like our mortgage that we have to take care of on a monthly basis. Life happens where emergencies come up. So we have to think about, take into consideration all these things. And that's the reason why you want to have a very good insurance agent or financial advisor to guide you through the decision making process.
I totally agree with that. And, in a previous video that Darius and I did, we were talking about what we wish that we knew, and knowing the disposable income that we have had access to back in the day and even up to this point. I totally would have redirected as much of our disposable income to insurance as I could have, as long as the life insurance companies would have allowed, because for us, the more that we understand the powerful tool that insurance is, we recognize that not only are we covering our family's needs from a death benefit standpoint, but every time we add money into the policy, meaning we pay our premium, that's more cash that's available to us. So if something were to come up financially, we can always borrow it from our policy. If an investment comes up, we have the money available. Like, it just opens up so many windows for us as opposed to consuming and buying stuff that doesn't bring us any value anyway. So the mindset shift for us has completely changed, which is why it's so important that we wanted to create this video so that you can understand, with your disposable income, be a little bit more strategic with it. And if you are unsure about investing and you just don't know where to go, like, this would be an amazing tool in your toolbox, because when you are ready to start investing, maybe there's going to be some money in your cash value available for you to get a loan from, so that you can start investing. A lot of times we find people just don't take any action, and you could have had some money growing in a pot somewhere, but because you didn't take action, now we're 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, and you could have had significant growth inside your whole life insurance policy if you redirected that disposable income maybe a little bit more strategically.
Right. And I'm so glad you brought up mindset, because the thing that comes to mind when we think about the years and the hundreds of people that we've walked through this process is the habits that you have isn't going to change because you have a life insurance policy. Your habits are only going to change when you make the decision to change your habits for the better. So if you're bringing in bad habits that got you to a place where you're not in a good financial situation, this life insurance, infinite banking, cash value life insurance is not going to help your situation until you make the decision to change your financial habits around what got you to that situation. Because the only thing we're going to do is give you access to more money. And when people who have bad financial habits have access to more money, they make even larger, they even mismanage their money even more.
Yeah, the mistakes hurt more.
Mistakes hurt more because there's more money associated with it.
Yeah.
And take it from us, because we've done it. We've wrecked our system because we didn't have good financial habits in place prior to. Now, in having a conversation about disposable income, yes, you do have disposable income now. But where were you in order to get that disposable income? Is that disposable income something that's going to be maintained for the long period of time? Is this disposable income going to increase over time? Or did it just happen because you got a tax refund?
Good point.
Or did you get this disposable income because you got a bonus at work?
Yeah. Those are big differences with how you are going to be successful with your life insurance policies. Now, to piggyback on what Darius is saying, when you have sound financial habits, being able to use your disposable income to pay premiums for life insurance policies are going to exponentially change your financial trajectory because one, it's going to provide you a death benefit to make sure that your family is covered should you need your insurance to be insured. And then two, it's going to allow a cash mechanism to grow inside your policy that you can use at your discretion. So you can use that should something comes up from a financial hardship, maybe, and you could use it to invest. There's so many different things that you can use the cash for. And that's why we think it's such an amazing play for you to be able to use your disposable income to fund whole life insurance policies, because it is just the vehicle that continues to keep on giving. Darius and I, our oldest policy is 7 years old, and that baby just keeps on giving. We have used it for everything under the sun, from funding our businesses to paying off debt to funding education for our daughter. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a pot of cash that we can use again at our disposal to do whatever it is that we want. And that's one of the 6 policies that we possess.
Right. So more importantly, when you have the cash value established inside of your policy and you have good financial habits, you want to use those funds to invest. And the reason why we want to use those funds to invest is so that you don't have to continuously put your disposable income into it. You want the investments to pay for your premiums for you. You want the investments to pay the loans back for you. You want the investments to pay the premiums for you. So you can have this system that continues to go without you.
Mm-hmm. It's like how Robert Kiyosaki says, like, you know, when you need to buy a car, when your investments can pay for a vehicle. So like, this is the level that we're trying to get to with this whole process. Like, you can be the seed fund, but at some point you want that cash value to start turning some cash so that this sucker can pay for itself.
Right. And all this starts from having good financial habits from the start so that you can add on to what you already know and the habits that you already have to keep moving forward. You see, this is the same motion of your policy working for itself. That's what we want. We want the policy to go into an investment and investments to go back into the policy. The policy go to an investment and
the cash value from the policy pays for an investment. So that we know this.
Yes. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Specifically, what we want is, for us, as an example, is we take our cash value and we buy properties. Those properties have renters, and those rents come back to us to pay back the loan. The additional funds, because we own the property outright that we purchased with the cash value from our life insurance policy, is going to pay back the loan. And then as it continues to accumulate, it starts to pay the premium because we've paid all the loans back. Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. That's what we're trying to do. Amen. So if you are interested in buying whole life insurance with your disposable income, definitely click on the link below. We would love to serve you at the Wealth Nation.
And if you want more information from our perspective as life insurance agents, check out our next video where we explain what we wish we knew about life insurance.
And don't forget to own your own lifestyle,
or someone else will.